The Silent Strength, a Stoic Guide to Power Through Restraint. In an age where everyone demands to be heard, few grasp the profound value of choosing silence. While noise has become the standard, quietness has transformed into something revolutionary. Those who wield it not as a hiding place but as a weapon of self-mastery become formidable. Strategic silence isn't weakness, it's calculated power. It's being fully present without needing spectacle. It's strength that requires no exhibition. Most people speak to manufacture courage, as if words could mask their insecurity. They chase the final word to avoid feeling defeated. But what value does the last word hold when your inner world surrendered first? True power isn't found in shouting, it's in your capacity to contain yourself without detonating. This wisdom isn't learned from eloquent speeches. It's forged through mental discipline, through practice, through silence itself. 8 Principles of Strategic Silence. 1. Silence disarms those who seek to provoke you. Some people don't want understanding, they want your reaction. They're hunting for your breaking point, trying to extract a response that feeds them. When you explode, justify, or shout back, they've won. They weren't seeking truth, they were seeking control. And you handed it to them simply because you couldn't stay quiet. But when you choose not to respond, something shifts. The aggressor who finds no conflict internally collapses. Provocateurs feed on your energy, deny them that fuel and they weaken. Silence isn't surrender, it's resistance. It's an invisible strike that disarms without making contact. The practice: when provoked, breathe deeply and refuse to speak. Let them drown in their own noise while you preserve your most valuable asset, your composure. The person who stays silent from wisdom becomes an unshakable wall, and those who attack with screams simply exhaust themselves. 2. Let your presence speak louder than your words. A solid wall doesn't need to announce its strength. It simply stands, immovable, firm, unshakable. This is how presence works for someone who knows themselves, who doesn't need verbal decoration to command attention. Many believe they must speak to earn respect, that without filling space with comments, jokes, or demonstrations of knowledge, they'll be invisible. But this compulsion reveals their anxiety about self-worth, their emptiness. Those who must prove something have already lost. The practice: enter spaces without forcing your energy. Stand straight, breathe calmly, observe intelligently, and don't react to what doesn't deserve response. True authority isn't imposed through talking, it's felt through presence. Your posture, your gaze, your way of moving all communicate volumes, often louder than any words. 3. Elevate yourself by staying silent before the trivial. Not everything deserves your attention, response, or energy. When you finally understand this, you stop wasting time explaining yourself to absurdity, defending against emptiness, or participating in conversations that nourish nothing. Every time you respond to the petty, you diminish yourself. You descend to a level beneath you. Worse, you become filled with the same mediocrity you thought you were fighting. The practice: train your mind not to react impulsively. Teach yourself that you can experience emotions without letting them hijack you. Mark your territory clearly, show you're unavailable to every stimulus. In a world where everyone wants to voice opinions about everything, choose the power of restraint, observation, and prioritizing your peace over your ego. 4. Let your gaze and posture establish boundaries. Your body speaks before your words. Even when silent, you're communicating something. Your posture, your gaze, how you hold your space, all of this broadcasts whether you dominate or defend, whether you respect yourself or habitually surrender. You can stay quiet, but if you lower your head, avoid eye contact, and slump your shoulders, you're not projecting strength, you're disappearing. It's not just about what you don't say, but what you project while choosing silence. The practice: walk consciously. Keep your gaze clear. Maintain your spine straight. Don't cross your arms defensively or hide behind your phone. Stay fully present, quiet, and anchored. Your energy will begin speaking a language not everyone understands but everyone feels. The strongest boundaries aren't drawn with explanations, they're transmitted through presence. 5. Don't explain what your calm has already made clear. You can't extinguish fire with gasoline, yet many try to do exactly that with words, rushed, defensive, anxious words. They believe that explaining more will quench judgment, calm criticism, or dispel suspicion. In reality, they're only feeding it. There's power in choosing silence not from lack of arguments, but from surplus confidence. Your calm has already said everything. Your actions, your gaze, your way of moving forward with certainty have already explained what words would only obscure. The practice, when you're secure in yourself, in what you do, in what you decide, others' opinions lose power. Choose not to speak, not to explain, not to lower yourself. Let your calm be your boundary, your defense, your message. The person who knows who they are doesn't need to announce it. 6. Breathe and control your mind before responding. An unbridled horse doesn't travel far, it exhausts itself and crashes. Your mind works the same way when you don't know how to pause it before acting. This is why so many people destroy relationships, burn opportunities, or regret their words, not from lack of intelligence, but lack of control. Silence isn't just absence of words, it's also pause. It's the space between stimulus and your response. That critical moment when you breathe, analyze, and decide whether opening your mouth is worthwhile. The practice, between what happens and your reaction lies a space, and in that space lies your freedom. Breathe once or twice. Feel your body, listen to your thoughts' tone, and ask yourself, does this deserve a response? Am I speaking from my center or from my wound? Am I acting by choice or reacting by habit? In this brief analysis lies the difference between repeating patterns and becoming who you truly want to be. 7. Transform silence into your primary weapon of control. A sword drawn at the first noise doesn't impress, it wears out. The same happens with words. If you speak impulsively, respond to every provocation, react to everything around you, you become predictable, manipulable, and weak. When you master silence as your first response, you disarm anyone, not with violence but with inner strength, not with superiority but with control. The practice, when someone attacks you with words and you don't fall, don't strike back, don't enter the drama, the situation shifts. The pattern breaks. The provocateur needs fuel, they need you to respond, to justify, to descend to their level. When you give them silence, you give them emptiness, and in that void they drown themselves. 8. Observe without words, truth always reveals itself. People lie, disguise, perform. But there's one thing they can never fully control, their nonverbal language, their gestures, their glances, their rhythm. There, in those small details most ignore, truth hides. Silence is not just a tool for self-control but for observation. When you learn to watch without interfering, you discover more than you could ever learn by asking questions. The practice, want to truly know someone? Don't pressure them or corner them with questions. Sit across from them and listen, not just to what they say, but how they say it. Watch their eyes when they speak, their posture when they're quiet, their breathing when uncomfortable. That's where truth lives, not in content, but in behavior. The final word. Silence gives you tremendous advantage. It puts you one step ahead. It makes you the only one who sees what others ignore, not because you're smarter, but because you're more attentive. Because you don't talk so much. Because you don't want to impose an idea before understanding reality. Make quiet observation your most powerful tool. When you don't interrupt, life speaks to you. People reveal themselves. Time unfolds. And you, in stillness, see everything. The one who sees chooses. And the one who chooses from silence never errs. Remember, continue developing your Stoic mindset. The path to strength isn't found in volume, it's discovered in the profound power of knowing when to speak and when silence says everything.